Marc Spears of the Undefeated, wrote a tremendous piece on Davion Mitchell for the Undefeated. First of all, Marc, fresh off the jump, man, thanks for making time from us. Great to hear from you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, my makeup's off. I'm ready to go.
There you go. I'm sure you still look like $1 million bucks.
I think I was maybe just a little bit more handsome with the makeup, but I'm fine.
There you go. There you go. What was your biggest takeaway in speaking with Davion in this piece that you wrote about him after Summer League?
Oh, just amazing human being, very grounded, great family. He's from Hinesville, Georgia, and it's funny, I read that Hinesville was once named the most boring city in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that boring city that, bred him. There wasn't a whole lot to do, and his grandmother basically ran the only gym in town. And so he was connected to her hip. He was there because it was closed on the Mondays and Tuesdays. Every Tuesday through Sunday, he was at this gym from, when the summer was up or during vacations from the beginning to end. And that's where he, fell in love with the game of basketball and got to eventually play against some older guys like Jordan McRae, who ended up coming to the NBA. And just basically, built his foundation to become a star, or that in college that made it to the NBA. So he's a small town guy who probably thinks Sacramento's like New York City to him. And he realized in order to get on the court back during those days, against grown men, play defense. If I play defense, they'll want me to be on their team. If I could frustrate somebody older than me, they'll let me play. And that's how at 12 and 13, he would get on court one of the Schumann Center in Hinesville, Georgia, and play against grown men. And that defensive mindset has obviously stuck with him today. And he's going to be one of the great defenders that perhaps the NBA has ever seen.
Wow. And that what's really stood out in this piece is I feel like by telling the background of everything that you just said right there, and obviously you tell it much more in depth in this article, is it feels like that whole time in Hinesville, Georgia, it shaped who he is today. It shaped the way he still plays basketball.
Yeah, no, he's a special defender, man. And, I've been covering the NBA since 99. I saw Dennis Rodman. I saw Mutombo. I've been close to seeing, the Draymond Green and, some of the other great defenders of this game. And but there's this passion that he has where I could tell if you scorn him, he's offended. He's angry. It bothers him. And I don't think most NBA players feel like that. They get over it. In a sense, you have to, because people are just so good offensively. What are you going to do? But he doesn't, take pride in playing halfway defense. He takes pride in trying to literally suffocate you and stop you. He reminds me of Marcus Smart in a lot of ways. But there were some of the plays that we saw during Summer League. I can't say that I've really seen that from anybody in recent years. So I guess the biggest challenge for him is how does he get on the court? You got two great guards there maybe one day they're both all-stars in Fox and Halliburton. Buddy Hield, he ain't left yet. He's still there. You got Terrence Davis, who's a veteran, just kind of does whatever you need him to do guy. He's still on the team. So how does Davion find his way onto the floor? And I think the defense will get him there.
Marc Spears of the Undefeated with us here on ESPN 1320. That's something that we've talked a lot about today. And one concern that I have, Bobby Jackson said after the Summer League title, Bobby Jackson was asked after the Kings won the Summer League championship about Davion influencing the culture here. And Marc, as you are well aware of, this team has been a disaster defensively for the better part of the last decade and some change. And it's like the burden now to improve this defense is sitting on the shoulders of this kid out of Baylor, who, as you just pointed out right there, the biggest difficulty is going to be finding out where to get minutes. But the fan base was so captivated because we hadn't seen that. What he did against Book Night to start Summer League, like, we hadn't seen that. Now it's like, yo, this is the guy who's going to change everything for us. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he can't defend all 5 positions, unfortunately, so, there's that part of it. But I do think he has energy that's contagious that exuded to the rest of his, Summer League teammates. And so I think he will get that assignment, He's going to get Kyrie. He's going to get Steph. He's going to get the marquee matchups. He's going to get Chris Paul, Book, that's what's going to be interesting to see. And there's going to be some humble pie for him to take there because those guys are just so special offensively. But what if he can stymie some of the greats? I think that will get him on the floor. That will bring excitement to the crowd. That will bring energy to the team's defense. But I do think it's asking a lot to expect him to change the culture. Because to me, culture is more than defense. It's the locker room. It's winning. It's a lot, It's a lot to ask somebody that's, coming off the bench to change that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like De'Aaron Fox has to change that.
Okay.
That's he's the star of the team. He is the face of the franchise. I think Halliburton is a close second, but certainly perhaps he could influence the roster, influence the franchise in perhaps a similar way that Draymond Green has with the Warriors.
Okay. You talked about eating some humble pie. First 3 games of the season for the Sacramento Kings and for Davion Mitchell is Dame, Donovan, and Steph.
Right. Hey, kid. Time to go in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dame.
That's it. Yep.
No,
that's it.
Have a nickname then. DM. It is.
That's it.
Yeah, good luck, kid. This ain't fake Pritchard. This ain't Book Night. You know what I mean? But hey, man, if you had to tell me to pick one rookie to get that challenge, I'm going with him.
Yeah, you got to. Luke Walton going to be out there like Furious Styles. Oh, he going to learn. He going to learn.
Yeah,
he going to learn.
Hey, man, I love listening to the Knuckleheads podcast with Quentin Richardson on it. And the one thing they always say at the beginning, who was the first person to bust your tail? And that's the NBA, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's an offensive-minded league.
Yep.
But in order to have longevity in the NBA, you have to do one thing special, and he is a special defender. He's an irritant. He's also very quick but strong. But he's not dirty. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I love too. Like there's one player, I won't say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. He's a dirty guard who's kind of got tossed around a little bit recently, but he's not that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's going to frustrate somebody. There might be a fight early in the season somewhere. Mm-hmm. But I actually wonder what kind of football player he would have been, you know. But, yeah, he's somebody, when he comes in the game, I'm going to sit up a little bit and kind of watch him. Because he's kind of like some special agent coming in to fix a problem, you know. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of problems in the NBA in terms of special guards that he's going to his defense is going to get challenged for sure.
You'll get to see a lot of them in the Western Conference, man. Thanks for that piece on Davion, man. It was tremendous. And thanks for all the great work you do. Appreciate you joining us, Mark. Thank you.
No problem. And I'll just say this. I got 20 minutes with that kid. Mm-hmm. Just Sacramento not only got, I think, a great player to be, but a great, humble person who loves to be boring. This kid's had the same girlfriend since high school. He don't do nothing. He's going to be about basketball, and I'm sure that's music to the King's heart.
100%, man. 100%. Marc Spears, we appreciate you, my man. Thank you.
All right, take care now.